Ribs. Making ribs 6 different ways. So this is a brand new outdoor kitchen that we built, patio cover, all kinds of different things. We got a new smoker, and we thought the first smoke would be ribs. And so my main channel is Eight Woodworks, where we make cutting boards, we make wooden things out of wood, traditional tools, lasers, CNCs, all kinds of stuff. But thought we would take these boards and actually use them and do some more tutorial videos. If you're just here for the recipe, use the timestamp, skip on ahead. But my normal videos over on the woodworking channel, I'm giving you a step-by-step. It's more of a tutorial, so this is not a hit and quit it super fast one. Just lots of different considerations and variables as you see here. Lots of things to consider, but ultimately they're gonna be delicious either way. So just kind of fun to mess around and dig into the possibilities of ribs. Enjoy. Ribs, 6 different ways. All right, so let's talk rubs. So dry rubs, there are so many pre-made little rubs you can find anywhere, you know, hardware centers, Walmarts, grocery stores, plenty online, right? So for this, I'm gonna do 2 pre-made ones that I just found at Costco. I use this one all the time. This is Kinder's Wood Fire Garlic. It's my favorite. I use this all the time. But we're gonna do these Memphis style dry rub, just the rub. Gonna do that on one. Traeger, yes, we're cooking on a Pit Boss, but gonna use some Traeger. Traeger's blend, found this at Costco, so easy to find. And then we're gonna do a DIY blend, just kind of a standard blend that you would use for Memphis ribs. All kinds of goodness here, so we're gonna just go ahead and make ourselves a little rub. So for this recipe, we are going to use some brown sugar. That's kind of a staple in most rubs. You certainly could omit the brown sugar if you were looking to cut down on your sugar consumption. But for everything else, we're just going to go 1 to 1 to 1. If you want to cut down on the salt, sometimes people will double up on the pepper. You can see down below, here are all the ingredients I used. I just used 1 part of each. Sometimes you want to double up on the paprika, especially with this Memphis style rub for ribs. Sometimes you want to double up on the paprika, just a little bit more, maybe a little bit more brown sugar. Just kind of mess around with it. Again, plenty of rubs, but this is the rub we used here. One thing you're going to have to do when you get your ribs is you open it up. You might want to remove some extra fat. These ones, I just got these at Costco, and these are just so perfectly trimmed. So really not much trimming at all was necessary. But what you want to do is you want to look at the back. And so this membrane on the back, there's usually 2 layers, right? And so the top layer, most folks like to remove it. And so what you just do is you just go in between the rib, you kind of stick your finger under there, you could peel it up, then you rip that sucker off, you can twist it. You can use a tool like this, some other tools to kind of twist it up, lots of other tools. However, these ones from Costco, they've already been membrane removed. And so if you remove what's here, then you're actually going to be pulling it off the bone, and then your rib's not going to hold together at all. And so, something to consider if you have the membrane. Some people don't remove it at all. They actually like to keep it on, or you can just kind of go ahead and score it. So some flavor gets through. So options there. All right, well, we got ourselves some ribs. What we're gonna do, because we're doing the 6 different styles, we're gonna go ahead and dry rub them. We're gonna put them in these 2-gallon bags just so they can sit and I can keep them separate so we can differentiate on the flavors. And then typically, you know, on this, once you put your dry rib on, you could actually leave it overnight. 12 hours is great. It's actually going to draw out a lot more of the moisture. It's going to help bind your dry rub agent. You could do it just, you know, 20-30 minutes before throwing it on the smoker. That's an option as well. For us, this is going to be a couple hours. So we're going to throw it on and put it in the bags, put it in the fridge, just let it sit. You could, if you wanted to, add mustard. On both sides, just yellow mustard as a binder. It's actually going to cook off. You're not going to really taste the mustard at all. It's just a binding agent. And then add your dry rub. So lots of different options, but just adding salt and letting it sit is going to draw out more moisture. It's going to work great. So what we're going to do, we're not going to do mustard, not going to do a binder. We're going to throw on our different dry rubs. We're going to throw them in the bag, throw them in the fridge. Here we go. All right, so when you apply your rub, you actually don't need to rub it into the meat itself. You really just want to let it sit on there, maybe pat it in. You do want to rotate the meat, the racks themselves, to ensure that every surface gets it, because again, you're trying to get that really good bark every which way. Definitely want to have some trays or something to cut down on the mess, but apply it, flip it, and then throw it in the bag. All right, we're going to go ahead and fire up the smoker. Pellets. Oh my gosh, there are so many variables with the rubs, with the sauces, with everything. Just using Pit Boss competition blend here, keeping it here so everything stays airtight. Whatever pellets work, right? Go ahead, like without anything, share what pellets you love, what works down in the comments below. What do you think works best with rubs? But we're already loaded, we're ready to go. We're gonna go and fire it up. All right, so here you can see as it's coming up to temp, so that gray smoke right here, we don't want to cook with that. That's not going to be great flavor. So you definitely want to leave it open. Once all that white smoke, all that gray smoke is gone, when it's nice and clear, you're good to go. All right, nice and clear. And right here, you can see we got the fire pot roaring. This particular one, you do have the option of searing, open up that fire pot, but we're ready to go. All right, so these ribs have been in the fridge for about 4 hours. You can really see that the moisture has come out. The salt content in the rub really drew it out. And so at this point, you could add some more dry rub if you wanted to. I don't need to. I think it's great. But pulling them out of all these bags, keeping track of which one is which for this little test. But go in and throw it down. So you could throw them all down on the bottom. This is a new grill for me, so I'm definitely learning the hot spots, which we'll get into a little bit later. But there they are. Beautiful color. All right, so next step, got one of my little dudes here who loves meat, so he's gonna help me out here. So at this point, it's about an hour. About an hour, you're gonna check on it, you wanna add some moisture back in. And so lots of options. Water, you could just do water in a spray bottle. A lot of people will do apple juice or apple cider vinegar. So we're gonna do a couple different variations. You know, these are great because it's just continuous spray. These work really, really well. Gonna go and pour some water in that one. Yeah, just pour some water in there. I'll hold it for you. All right, so you can just fill with water, right? So, ooh, water in a spritzer. Amazing, that's great, awesome. All right, now we're gonna do a little bit of half and half. All right, you gonna go and pour? All right, we're gonna do half water, and we're gonna do half apple cider vinegar. All right, and then last but not least, we're gonna do a little cider vinegar and apple juice, a little mixture. So, spraying, oh my gosh. Anyway, got some options here. We're gonna spritz it, just add some moisture back in so it doesn't dry out. You wanna put the rest of the water in that spritzer? Let's take a look. Holy cow. Looking great. All right, you can clearly see that over here, we're a little dry, so we're definitely gonna add some moisture there. These ones are still pretty wet, but we're gonna just add some moisture back. And so you don't need to like soak it, just wanna come back. And so now at this point, it's been an hour, so we're gonna do this every 20 to 30 minutes, take a look. After about 30 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and do a first look with the thermometer, just see where we're at with everything. Obviously, these back ribs a little bit thinner. These two in particular probably cook down a little bit sooner, but there we go. All right. Well, I went ahead and threw these probes in just to take a little look-see. Over here, we're running a little hot, so this one's definitely dried out, so I'm gonna keep on this one, but we're at 175 on the small thinner one, 160. I'll take multiple measures when I get closer. But we're gonna do another 30 minutes, so it'll be 2 hours total unwrapped like this. Goal, we'll talk more about temps later. Really, I mean, your goal for final temperature is anywhere between 195 and 210. Just depends on how much meat you want it to fall off the bone and all that kind of style. So we're gonna go another 30 minutes here. It smells so good. All right, so it's been about 2 hours, a little over. Been spritzing them here and there. All right, so I have my probes in, giving me temps, but I also want to do multiple measures. So I'm going to check this. These ones I did, you can see I moved them up top, just because these are thinner, but you can already see some pullback on these. They're getting pretty tender, but these ones are going to just be, yeah, I mean, obviously right here, we're already at temp. Here, we got a bit to go. Anyway, these three right here, I do have a hot spot right here. I probably need to do a deflector at some point. But anyway, keep checking those temps. All right, so at this point, I am gonna give it just a little bit longer. probably about another 15-20 minutes. Then I'm going to pull these three off. Excuse me, I'm going to pull these two off, and then we're going to wrap them with sauce. All right, I'm going to check and see how tender these are. Oh yeah, oh, these are looking good. So you can definitely go off of temps, but just just seeing how bendy it is, like this one, not as bendy. Probably got a ways to go, a little bit longer on that one, but this one right here, yeah, we're getting close there. So once you feel like they're pretty close, a little over 2 hours or so, yeah, we give this a little bit longer, then we'll wrap them in the foil and add some sauce. Okay, so new grill, new smoker, it's great, it's awesome, but definitely right here, right, this is the flame pot. So definitely a heat zone there, so I'll probably look at doing a deflector at some point. And I probably should have in the first place done most of it up on the top rack. You can do on the bottom, but I'm kind of learning the smoker. But in general, everything's looking great. I just had one casualty. This one, a little charred underneath, but that's fine. That's why we're doing so many different ones, kind of testing out what tastes best. Lots of possibilities. So at this point, we are going to pull these two off, and we're going to do foil, and we're going to do butcher paper. All right, so for this point, we're going to do foil, we're going to do the butcher paper. I'm going to just lay down some butter. Tasty, tasty. And we're going to take those ribs, and we're going to put them face down, the meat side down. So you're going to see those bones on the bottom side that are a little charred. Butterfingers. All right. At this point, you can add brown sugar. I'm going to go ahead and go with some honey. A little bit of sugar here. And so it's going to sit in the foil. The foil is going to kind of steam it a bit. The advantages of the butcher paper, it's going to let out the moisture. So it's going to kind of keep the sauces, the stuff inside. So we'll kind of experiment with both. As far as sauce, and you might hate on this, but I actually love Sweet Baby Ray's. Everyone's got their own favorite brand. I love it. It's really easy to find, lots of different flavors, and it works. But whatever sauce you want, just add a little sauce. Get your sauce in. All right, now let's go ahead and throw the ribs on. All right, oh yeah, baby. Okay. Yeah, you can see this one was on that hot spot. Got a little burn. Okay, that's not a little burn. I know, that's a lot of burn. Don't judge. All right, now this baby, this is perfect. This is so tender, so perfect. Oh, look, oh, perfect. This is still gonna be delicious. It's just a little charred, but nothing wrong with a little char. All right, so we got our two different ones. I am gonna baste on, let's baste a little bit. I don't need any on this. I shouldn't have done that. It's already charred. Charred out the yin yang. Yeah, we'll salvage the meat. We'll probably just take that and kind of pull it off, shred it. It's still gonna be delicious. It smells amazing. All right. So, let's go ahead and do this here. I'm gonna go ahead. Might do this. And I want to wrap it in such a way that I can still check temp. So I'm going to fold it over. Don't judge my wrap job. I don't want a perfect seal. Like there's other recipes where you do want a perfect seal. I do want a little bit of that steam to come out. All right, and there's the foil in here. This is butcher paper. Man, this one, so good. Okay, you can already see that moisture kind of comes out a bit. All right. Again, don't judge the wrap job. So we're gonna put it on in. We're gonna put the meat side down. Meat side down. So it's sitting in all those juices. I spritz these up here. These are looking incredible. I'm gonna give that about 30 minutes or so, and we'll check. All right, we're gonna take a look. Oh. Still spritzing these dry rub ones. Wow, pullback is insane on that. Oh, yeah. All right, these are getting real close. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pull out the butcher paper. Oh, looks divine. Take a look at this one first. Wow. Just smells so good. All right. Wow. Gosh, it smells good. All right. Now, you can see it's super oily because it's let out some of, my gosh, that is fantastic. It's let out, oh my gosh, there is some serious pullback on that, which is fantastic, which is what we want. Wow. I mean, these look almost ready to eat right now. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna baste these. We're gonna baste these, put them back on for 20 to 30, check temp, but yeah. Yeah, I'd say these are looking pretty good. See that? Wobbly wobbly means we're golden. Check out the foil. Oh yeah, it's already got some good wobble here. And check it. Remember, this one had a little bit of singe to it. So the one thing about foil is it's not going to let out that moisture. Oh, it looks so good. Yeah, some serious pullback on the bone. It looks really tender. All right, so we're gonna baste these right now. Get them back on. We're gonna thin out the barbecue sauce. So some barbecue sauce, maybe a little bit more cider vinegar, the leftover juices, throw it in, baste it. Here we go. Let's baste these because these are getting, at least this one is ready. Well, just about. Saucing you up. Sometimes it's a little bit further along than you expect. I mean, low and slow is the name of the game. You definitely want to take your time with these. 275 maybe is a little too hot for this smoker. Just depends on your smoker. Got to test that out. Like I mentioned earlier, with this being my first cook on this here smoker, this grill, I'm probably going to do some kind of a water can diffuser, just to kind of diffuse that heat and just kind of push it out everywhere. We'll do that. All right, and let's see. This one was already crispy, but we're going to glaze this one. There's still some great bites in here, but definitely it burned a little hot, a little caramelized. But you know what? Some people, that's what they go for. So whatever floats your boat. Like, honestly, I haven't had a rib that wasn't delicious. So, all right, we're gonna just leave it like that. Okay. All right, we're gonna leave these for about 20 minutes, maybe 15. We'll spritz these dry rubs, Memphis style. And while we're here, throw the probe in, making sure to not hit bone. And then I'll use my other thermometer real quick. But, little nugget fell off. Shut up. Okay, gotta wait. This is the part, gotta wait. Almost there. All right, so we're gonna do some final temp checks. Again, you can just go off of temps, or you can just go off the look. I know those are done. You can do some reading. So again, you're usually looking for, as far as tenderness, you're looking for 195 to 205, maybe 210. It just depends on, you want the meat to fall off the bone. All right, well, sadly, this one that was in that hot spot is pretty toast. That was the, yeah. This one right here, keep track of everything. Yeah, this is the Kinder. We'll get there eventually. I'm just gonna let it rest here. And then this, I think this was this is the Traeger. Oh yeah, see that? Flopsy flopsy. All right, we're gonna leave the rest of these in for a skosh. I'm gonna pull this little bite out because I just want to start eating some sooner. I'll leave those in. All right, gonna let these rest for about 15 15, 20 minutes. On the dry rub, you know, the Memphis style at this point, if you want more flavor, we already got a great bark, right? None of that dry rub came off. You could dust it some more, but again, this is no sauce in this style, but oh my gosh, so exciting. All right, so these babies smell amazing. So here you can get a look what the racks are gonna look like after the fact. Again, this one was the victim of my hot spot, so you can definitely, again, it was singed even before the barbecue sauce went on. That was pretty crispy. The one that foiled did cook a little bit more. We'll see. You know, it's super tender, but maybe it got a little overcooked. The butcher paper one turned out great, but remember, this was not a perfect test. It did start off really, really well before it went into the butcher paper. The foil was already a little crispy, but it got even crispier. So don't know. I think they're all going to be delicious no matter what. And, you know, we'll just see what these different dry rubs taste like. Oh my gosh, so good. All right, little chop here. Sorting them all out for this super scientific test. Obviously, if you really wanted to test it, there would be some more variables you'd want to control. But again, like I've mentioned so many times, this is a new smoker, kind of testing out the smoker itself as well as some other variations. All right, they're all cut up. All right, we're gonna start with the rub only, Memphis style homemade. So much flavor, juicy, delicious. This was the Kinder, that wood fire grill. Yum, yum. All right, the Traeger actually did really well. I just, again, don't want to judge everything, but again, these are all Memphis style, so this really isn't a comparison on these flavors because you can't taste them, but you can just see how the dry rub Memphis style worked. All right, let's go ahead and do the we saw what happened. It's kind of tragic, the burned one. I mean, there's still some great meat on there. We'll pull out some meat, but it just got too crispy, but there's still some good flavor in there. Now we can do some shredded deliciousness. Let's go with the foil. So the foil did get a little dried out. Still juicy, but I think it already, again, it was already a little cooked, a little bit further along, but still beautiful and still insanely good. All right, my favorite, at least for how it turned out. Nice and juicy. This was the St. Louis cut. Again, also, this was not a great experiment because I had 2 different cuts, but I mean, so good, so good. So an idea how they went out, again, just kind of messing around. All right, there you have it, some delicious ribs, some different ideas, different approaches. Obviously, this is not a perfect experiment, but it was fun, and they're delicious. If this video did provide value, please consider subscribing to see more videos like this. My main channel is a woodworking channel, right? Where I made this outdoor kitchen, I made these cutting boards, I make all kinds of things with hardwoods, use lasers, machines, traditional tools, so you can check that out. But here, I wanted to use these boards, right? Actually use the cutting boards I made, all kinds of things. This was a little bit more tutorial style, a lot slower with the smoker. In the future, there will be more smoker, there will be grill, there will be flat top. Also lots of sides and other things, just lots of different ideas and inspiration. I do love cooking and all kinds of eats, delicious food. So if you are a seasoned veteran, or even if you're not, what's your favorite recipe? So use the comments down below to leave a comment on your favorite rub. What's your rub recipe? What dry rubs do you enjoy? What barbecue sauce do you enjoy? Do you prefer Memphis dry? Do you like them wet? Wrapped, unwrapped, what are your ideas? Just no gatekeeping. I really don't think there's, you know, a right way or a wrong way. It's all about preference. And so just let others, you know, come and enjoy the love of some delicious smoked meats and all kinds of good food. So thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.